This was one of the biggest mind shifts that I had. So I used to be a guy who would always chase the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then the next thing. Because there's always the next thing, right? And it was always about who is ahead of me. So when I joined Mindvalley, like I was telling you about, I was an intern. As an intern also, because of my background, I got a chance to play a role which was called business managers at that time. It's similar to what I was showing in the presentation, being a leader of a business. I used to manage a business called Silva. There were many business managers in Mindvalley at that time. Now we don't do business managers. We operate a little bit differently. But there were about 3 more who used to manage different businesses. And what would happen is that because there were 3 or 4 business managers, we would always be very competitive, like any regular organization. We'll be like, who's making more sales this month? Who's creating more products this month? Whose business is growing more? Because you're business managers, you're responsible for verticals. And we would always keep competing. I'll always keep competing. Sleepless nights, crazy amount of hours that I was studying or working. It was crazy times. It was really crazy times. I'm sure you have had that time when you were in your corporate career, or you are even today looking at somebody else and going, that person, how can they do better than me? Right? And there's always the next thing then, and I might get the next goal, and the next revenue goal, and the next target, and the next thing that we got to get. It was good. It was good. I was getting successful. I felt that's the right thing to do. I was, moving forward. But it was nothing close to for what happened once my dialogue changed. This dialogue change happened because there's a gentleman called Don Sullivan. I don't know, how many of you have heard of Don Sullivan, strategic coach? He has a program called Pure Genius. It's published by a company called Nightingale Cohen. It's like a $70 course, pretty cheap. It's called Pure Genius, and in this course, he talks about reverse gap. When I heard about the reverse gap, I heard 2 things. So to give you context, reverse gap is basically most of the people think about how there is a future, and that's where we always try to go. But as a kid, we are taught that you will never reach the horizon because horizon is just a mental construct. It's actually not the truth. There is nothing like a horizon, right? There's no end to the world because it's a circle, right? So there's no horizon that you reach, but it's a mental construct. That's same with goals. Goals are constructs of our mind and actually not true. You can move it close or far, whatever you want, because it's just a mental construct. It's not the truth. It's actually not there, right? But when you compare yourself to the goal, you always feel that you're behind. But if you see yourself from where you were versus where you are, you're always in a state of gratefulness, right? Wherever you were 3 months ago, or 3 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, whatever you want to compare yourself to, you're always forward. But if you always compare yourself to where you want to go, you are always behind and you're always demotivated. Whereas if you compare yourself to where you were, you're always motivated and you're always empowered, right? So that's called the reverse gap. In reverse, the gap that you've achieved, if you always look at that, your positioning, your strength is always, you're always at a stronger hold, you're always at a stronger position, you're always in a peak state, right? Because you're always grateful for wherever you are, right? So there were 2 things that I learned. First was this, is that there is a goal, yes. It's not that I don't have a goal, but at the same point of time, I am not so tied to it that it demotivates me. What makes me excited is where I've come, how far what I have achieved. But what also changed after that is I realized that if I don't care about my goal, if I actually forget about my goal, I actually get my goals faster. Now, it might sound really ridiculous that if you told us yesterday, make a sheet, put goals on the first page, and you want us to now forget our goals. But that's the truth. You write those goals for you to be reminded when you need to be reminded. But when you operate on a daily basis, the more present you are in the joy of doing what you do, and you position your success in today, in the joy of today, in the joy of what you do, what happens is, and this is mystical, and you can agree and disagree. I don't have scientific logic to back it, but what I've seen is that anything that I want happens faster and easier for me because I don't care about it. I don't care about it. I don't care about if I reach my revenue goal this year or not. I just enjoy the process of having fun while I'm doing it. And that's why every time I set a goal, even if I've set it only once in a year, I look at it maybe every 3 months or 6 months to be able to see where I am compared to my goal, but I don't really kill myself on it. I just enjoy the work that I'm doing. That has not only made my life blissful, of course, because then I'm like, if today is a fun day, that's a great day, let's celebrate it, right? Whatever way we celebrate, if it's sleep that I need to celebrate it or it's party, it doesn't matter, right? Till the time I have a great time today, right? So every day becomes powerful, but what happened, which was amazing for me to feel, and which is why I was like, this is definitely a good way to go forward, which is why I want to give this mindset to you, is that every goal became easy because I wasn't trying. It was just happening because I was just enjoying what I did. So I want you to reposition your success. What is success for you every single day? Not that goal that you put out 3 or 6 months from now, but what does it look like today? How would today look like? How is your day when you wake up in the morning? What are you doing that will make you feel so alive, so joyful, that you can actually enjoy that day? Irrespective if you achieved something or you didn't.